Sitting at a desk for 8 hours doesn't just stiffen your muscles, it alters your cellular metabolism. Within 24 hours, your muscles' ability to break down fat decreases by up to 10%. This isn't due to inactivity alone. It stems from reduced lipoprotein lipase activity, an enzyme crucial for fat breakdown. Low levels inhibit your muscles' ability to utilize circulating fats. Meanwhile, your insulin sensitivity drops, further stressing your metabolic system. These changes can occur faster than you might expect, showing how quickly your body's physiological responses adapt to a sedentary environment. The challenge isn't just moving more, but countering these cellular shifts. Many people think short walks negate hours of sitting, but the reality is more complex. Prolonged sitting compresses the discs in your spine, reducing their nutrient absorption by up to 20%. This compression doesn't simply reverse with a brief walk. Movement increases synovial fluid production, which nourishes joint cartilage, but the time needed for full disc re-expansion is longer. Muscles, too, experience a shift. After hours of sitting, your hip flexors shorten, causing lower back tension. Undoing these effects requires targeted, sustained movement, not just intermittent breaks. Understanding this can reshape your approach to daily activity. Your body's postural muscles, like the erector spinae, start to deactivate significantly after just 20 minutes of sitting. These muscles maintain spinal alignment and core stability. When they deactivate, your nervous system compensates by recruiting secondary muscles, such as the trapezius, leading to imbalances and discomfort. This isn't just a muscle issue, it's a neuromuscular adaptation. Your brain adjusts motor unit recruitment patterns, prioritizing immediate comfort over long-term health. Repeated exposure to this leads to chronic pain and postural deficits, demonstrating the nuanced impact of sedentary habits. The real adjustment is neurological, not just physical. Contrary to popular belief, maintaining correct posture at a desk doesn't eliminate all risks. Holding a static posture, even a correct one, reduces blood flow to muscles by up to 50%. This reduction impairs oxygen delivery and waste removal, leading to muscle fatigue and discomfort. Microcirculation is key here. Small blood vessels, responsible for tissue health, can become restricted. Simply adjusting your position can significantly influence microvascular function. These circulatory changes highlight why movement is critical, not just posture. Addressing the circulatory component adds a new dimension to combating sedentary effects. Stretching after long periods of sitting does more than alleviate stiffness. It actively influences gene expression in muscle cells. Research from 2019 showed stretching activates mechanotransduction pathways, which can upregulate genes involved in muscle growth and repair. This genetic response is not just reserved for intense exercise. The physical pull of stretching triggers molecular signals that adapt your muscles to frequent use. The stimulation of these pathways can partially counteract the negative effects of prolonged sitting, providing a cellular foundation for improved muscle resilience. Stretching, then, is not merely reactive, but a proactive cellular strategy. When you stand up after prolonged sitting, a cascade of neuromuscular signals activates. Your brain sends impulses to motor neurons, igniting a rapid muscle response. This immediate reaction isn't just about balance, it involves complex motor unit recruitment. Motor units, clusters of muscle fibers innervated by a single neuron, adjust to maintain posture. This process, known as neuromuscular facilitation, can enhance coordination with consistent activation. Even minimal engagement throughout the day can significantly impact neuromuscular efficiency. Thus, the act of standing isn't merely physical, it's a neurological exercise, recalibrating your body's movement patterns. Sitting alters your hormonal profile, particularly affecting cortisol levels. Cortisol, a stress hormone, can increase by 15% after long sedentary periods. This elevation shifts your body into a catabolic state, potentially reducing muscle protein synthesis. However, movement triggers a hormonal rebalancing. Physical activity stimulates the release of anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone. These hormones promote muscle repair and growth, counteracting cortisol's catabolic effects. The interplay of these hormones is crucial for maintaining muscle mass and metabolic health during extended periods of inactivity. Even small movements can initiate this hormonal adjustment. Connective tissue, particularly fascia, adapts to your activity level in subtle ways. Fascia, a network of fibrous tissue surrounding muscles, becomes less pliable with inactivity. This reduces its ability to distribute mechanical stress effectively. Movement stimulates fibroblasts, cells responsible for collagen production, enhancing tissue elasticity and resilience. A 2021 study found regular movement increased collagen turnover by 20%, promoting healthier fascia. The adaptability of your connective tissue underscores the importance of varied movement patterns, beyond simple exercise routines. Maintaining fascia health is a dynamic process, heavily influenced by daily activity. Mitochondrial biogenesis, the process of forming new mitochondria, is surprisingly sensitive to movement patterns. Sitting for extended periods reduces mitochondrial efficiency, impacting energy production. Activity stimulates PGC1-alpha, a coactivator that drives mitochondrial biogenesis. This activation isn't limited to intense exercise. Even standing or light walking can encourage mitochondrial growth, enhancing cellular energy output. A 2020 study showed that brief, frequent movements increased mitochondrial content by 13% over 8 weeks. The mitochondrial response to movement reveals how even small changes in activity can vastly improve cellular energy dynamics. It's a cellular rejuvenation process, not just physical upkeep. Your nervous system's sensitivity to proprioceptive feedback diminishes with prolonged sitting. Proprioception, the sense of body position, relies on sensory neurons in muscles and joints. Inactivity decreases neuron activity, impairing spatial awareness. Movement re-engages these neurons, enhancing synaptic plasticity, which strengthens nerve connections and improves coordination. Even small movements can recalibrate your proprioceptive accuracy, improving balance and reducing injury risk. This neural adaptability demonstrates the profound influence of consistent, varied movement on your nervous system's functionality. Proprioceptive health isn't just about movement, it's about re-engaging your body's intrinsic feedback systems. Chronic inactivity leads to muscle atrophy, a loss of muscle mass that can occur surprisingly quickly. Studies show muscle fibers can shrink by up to 5% in just 2 weeks of inactivity. At the cellular level, this involves a reduction in myofibrils, the contractile units in muscle cells. The process begins with a decrease in protein synthesis and an increase in protein degradation. This imbalance is primarily mediated by the ubiquitin proteasome pathway, a system that tags proteins for breakdown. Understanding this mechanistic pathway highlights the rapidity with which muscle deterioration can occur without regular activity. The cellular mechanisms of muscle atrophy emphasize the need for consistent movement. Overtraining, on the other hand, results from excessive physical activity without adequate recovery. This can lead to a state called overtraining syndrome, characterized by chronic fatigue and decreased performance. At the hormonal level, overtraining disrupts the hypothalamic pituitary axis, altering cortisol and testosterone levels. This hormonal shift can impact everything from mood to immune function. A 2019 study found that prolonged overtraining decreased testosterone by 20% while increasing cortisol levels. The body's response to excessive training is a reminder of the fine balance required in maintaining optimal health. Too much activity is as detrimental as too little, highlighting the importance of recovery. Prolonged inactivity doesn't only impact muscles, but also your cardiovascular system. Sitting for long periods is linked to endothelial dysfunction, a precursor to atherosclerosis. The endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels, becomes less responsive to blood flow changes. This dysfunction is partly due to reduced shear stress, the frictional force of blood flow, crucial for maintaining vascular health. Research from 2020 indicates that simply standing or walking intermittently can improve endothelial function by enhancing shear stress. The vascular system's response to inactivity shows the cardiovascular implications of a sedentary lifestyle. Even small movements can significantly impact your heart health. Long-term sedentary behavior impacts bone health, reducing bone mineral density over time. This occurs because bones require mechanical loading to stimulate osteoblast activity, the cells responsible for bone formation. Without regular stress from movement, osteoclast activity, which breaks down bone tissue, surpasses osteoblast activity. A 2018 study demonstrated that sedentary individuals had significantly lower bone density than those who engaged in regular weight-bearing activities. The dynamic balance between osteoblasts and osteoclasts underscores the skeletal consequences of inactivity. Bone health is a long-term consideration, heavily influenced by daily activity levels. Movement plays a crucial role in maintaining bone integrity. Interestingly, a 2022 meta-analysis found that among people with sedentary jobs, engaging in short, frequent bursts of movement throughout the day can significantly improve metabolic health. Subjects who incorporated just 5 minutes of activity every hour saw a 30% improvement in insulin sensitivity compared to those who did not. This suggests that even minimal, consistent movement can drastically alter metabolic pathways. These metabolic changes aren't just short-term, they contribute to long-term health improvements. This reframes how we consider activity in daily life, emphasizing that frequency and timing can be as impactful as total duration. Metabolic health benefits profoundly from strategically integrated movement.